In this video, I just want to talk with you guys a little bit about what I use, what tools I take with me every day that I go to work, every day that I show up and cook for some clients. We show up with what's called a knife bag or a knife roll. First thing you want to do is have an apron, because protecting your clothes, protecting yourself, making sure that you have some form of cleanliness when you're working is very important. Even though you wear an apron doesn't mean you need to get it dirty. The cleaner you are as a chef, I feel like the way you look is the way you cook. And if you look like crap, usually your food's gonna look like crap too. So trying to maintain a clean area around you, staying very organized, wiping down, sanitizing your tools, sanitizing your work area, making sure that you're not cross-contaminating cutting boards. All these things are very important as a chef, but you'd be surprised. A lot of places that you go to, a lot of your food chains, I don't want to name any by name because I don't want to get flagged on YouTube, but there's quite a few that have gotten a lot of people sick. And I know a lot of you have probably experienced it yourself, and a lot of you have eaten at these establishments and probably continue to eat there even after you got sick, which is even crazier to me. I think preparing your food at home is such a huge thing that just kind of is getting lost these days. Everyone's just always on the run, always on the go, but really just finding the time to really just take care and take care of yourself, take care of your family, because you never know what is actually going in our food when you go out to eat, which is very scary. It scares me. That's why I'm always cooking for my wife and I. Obviously, it's a little bit easier for me because I can kind of bang something out super quick and it's super delicious. I always tell my wife, I'm just keeping it super simple tonight, and she laughs because she's like, yeah, super simple to you would take me 2 hours to prepare. Being a chef and knowing those skills and just being able to whip something up super quick is awesome, and I thank God for this gift that he's blessed me with, and I'm here to share it with you and hopefully bless you guys with it as well. So I just wanted to walk you through my knife bag setup and all the tools that I use and what they're used for. All right, so let's start with just the easy stuff. So this is a really nice grater that I use. You can get this at any Japanese or Asian market. It's just really nice because it grates ginger, it can grate wasabi, you can grate garlic, you can grate radishes if you want. Really comes in handy, and I love this because I feel like when you cut things or break vegetables down differently, they have a different flavor and they have a different mouthfeel, which is very important. Sometimes I want chopped ginger, sometimes I want grated ginger, especially for like pickled ginger dressing or different sauces where I don't want that harsh, fibrous ginger bite. I want it nice and grated and just broken down completely. This comes in handy. So definitely pick one of these up. Very important is having insta-read thermometers, and you want them to be insta-read because if you're temping meat, you're temping chicken, you're temping fish, you want to make sure that it's getting the fastest accurate temp. Definitely get yourself an insta-read thermometer. What we use in Michelin star restaurants and fine dining restaurants, this is a cake tester, obviously to test cakes, but also we're using this to temp our meat as well. Once you do this for long enough and many years of cooking meat, cooking proteins, cooking seafood, what have you, you just know to stick it in and take it out. You can put it against a very sensitive spot, which is usually on your wrist or under your lip. I have my tweezers here. These are very important for plating, putting little flowers on, or if I'm wanting to put things in a certain area on the plate. These are very important because it gets in places where your fingers can't get to, which is very nice. Comes in handy. So I just have a couple different sizes. These are kind of the hook end, and then these are more of the straight. Speaking of tweezers too, these are actually to take fish bones out. You definitely want to get a pair of fish pliers because these come in handy when you're breaking down fish. You want to make sure that any little tiny bones you get out, or any bigger bones if you're breaking down bigger fish. So making sure that you have a pair of fish pliers is very important. The next thing is a peeler. I love these Y peelers. I always have. I hate those straight stick peelers. I think they're horrible. Some chefs prefer those, but I don't understand why. I feel like these are smaller and you can just kind of grip these a little bit better. Peeling fruit, peeling carrots or whatever, and they're always a lot sharper too. So I have a couple different bench scrapers. So this one I use if I want to scrape some food up and just kind of put it aside, getting maybe some dough off the counter. It has multiple purposes and I love these. These come in handy. So making sure that you get one of these bench scrapers. This is a flexible bench scraper as well. You can use this when you're making doughs to get your dough that's a little bit, maybe a little bit sticky in the bowl. Ensure that you can get it out with these. You can also use these for your prep as well. If you're chopping ingredients or, chives or smaller things, shallots or whatever, it's nice to have one of these bench scrapers or this one to kind of scrape up your food and be able to put it in a dish or, put your mise en place into a different container using these. That's what's nice is they're wide, they're flat, they get under things easily on your cutting board. So definitely picking up a couple of these is crucial. So next we have the mini dough cutter. I love this little fluted end for when I make pastas. Comes in handy. There's also a brass one. I think I have it in my toolbox downstairs, but I carry this one in my knife bag just so I have one with me. So you have your flat end, which is just, you know, you want some clean cuts. Making sure that you have one of those is key. Having a pair of good scissors. These are great for cutting off fins off fish. I have different harder scissors if you want to cut down the backbone of a chicken. These are just nice for smaller work. So make sure that you have a small pair of scissors is definitely crucial. So next I have a little offset palette knife. I love these. You can use them for, say, smaller proteins if you need to get out of the pan. These are also great for plating, swiping some sauces on the plate. Very useful tool. When I'm making tuile, this is very nice to just kind of scrape it along the silicone mat to kind of get off any excess batter. So many useful applications for this. I can't recommend this tool especially enough, so definitely make sure you get yourself a smaller palette knife. They have bigger ones too. Definitely get those. So moving on to what's in my knife bag. This is called a bird's beak knife, and this is very nice because you can use it for peeling things. You can use it for what we call fluting mushrooms, which is either peeling mushrooms or making a design in mushrooms. You don't see that too much anymore, but these just come in handy for a lot of things. I think it's very smart to have a bird's beak knife in your knife kit, just in case. It's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it, right? As the old saying goes. So this is a smaller bunkin knife. It is blue steel, and it's such a beautiful knife. It definitely gets some patina over time, making sure that you're really cleaning this off after you use it. If you cut acidic, say anything like onions or tomatoes or whatever that has high acidity, you want to make sure that you wipe these down with some water or a wet damp cloth, just to make sure that you're keeping this from getting stained. I work here down at the beach in Orange County, so the humidity really rusts our knives out super quick, so you want to make sure that you're getting that off. I'll do another video on how to clean your knives properly. A really cool knife. I love that one. This one is just a flexible fillet knife or boning knife. I use this for smaller fillets, say like snapper, smaller fish, to really just get down in there, get under the bones. It's nice because it's flexible and you can really get down and get those fillets off there super quick. Definitely nice for breaking down different proteins as well. Maybe like getting silver skin off a whole tenderloin or whatever. I use this knife quite a bit, so definitely have that in your knife bag. So this is my Japanese Gyuto knife or chef's knife. It's one-sided or single bevel, which means you only have it sharpened on one side and it's flat on the back here. Love this for multiple preparations. I use it mostly for vegetable cutting, fine cutting, maybe cutting chives, cutting scallions. This is kind of my go-to everyday knife. I love this one, super cool. This is a petty knife. I believe it's about 5.5 inches. Great for smaller knife work. Anything that requires a smaller blade. These really come in handy, super cool. Definitely get yourself a petty knife. So this is my Yusuba Japanese knife. So I have the Shinogi line that goes into the Hasaki, which is my cutting edge. On the back, we have the Ura or Ura, which is the flat edge, which is the flat part on the back, which is slightly concaved. You can't see it on the video, but if you look at the knife, you'll see that it's just slightly concaved, and that actually helps food from sticking to the blade, which is super useful, super cool. Highly recommend this knife. Definitely get this knife. So next up, we have our pasta fork. That's what I use it for. I hardly ever would use this to jab meat because I feel like if I stick this in some meat, it's just gonna be letting out all the juice that I wanna keep in that meat. I don't think, unless it was some huge piece of meat, that I would actually need to use this for. I keep this for just rolling pasta, making your pasta and just rolling it and then just plating it on a plate. You probably see me do that in a couple of videos. I love that tool. Now this is another Usaba, but a Kuretsuki. I believe I'm pronouncing that right, but it has the angled tip as opposed to the square tip on this one. Both kind of used for the same things. Like I said, vegetable prep mostly. Definitely a very handy knife. I use this probably more than anything. This is my Deba knife. See how it has a very large spine. It's meant for breaking down fish, cutting through bone. That's why it's very heavy. Also a single bevel one-sided knife. This allows you to get under the fish without cutting into the meat. That's why it has that flat edge on it, that flat back end. Making sure that you're keeping all your knives sharp is very important. I definitely, if you're doing a lot of fish butchery or breaking down fish, whole fish especially, I was trained by Japanese chefs. That's why I ended up getting a Deba knife. So making sure you have a Deba knife is a must. This is a honer. I don't really use this too much, or we call it a diamond. Just getting a quick little edge on your knife is what you can do. Mine are single bevel, so I don't really need it for that. I'd say probably the only thing that I would use it for would be maybe this fillet knife. Chefs use it in different ways. Some chefs go like this. I go like this. I mean, there's different ways that you can just hone your knife just to put a quick little edge on it if you want to. Some people don't have time to sharpen their knives. I think it's very crucial if you have Japanese knives, making sure that you're taking the time to invest in some whetstones is very important because you want to make sure that you're maintaining and taking care of your high quality knives. You spend a lot of money to get these knives, and making sure that you're getting a whetstone and taking care and really polishing your knife is very important as a chef. I can't stress that enough. All right, so next up, Yanagiba or Yanagiba. I've heard it pronounced so many different ways, but I pronounce it Yanagiba. This is a beautiful knife, just mainly meant for fish cutting, sashimi, crudo, anything raw. Also a one-sided blade. This knife is meant to get those razor sharp sashimi cuts that you see sushi chefs cutting every time you go to a sushi restaurant, a sushi bar. It's just a really cool knife to use. Making sure that you're keeping this razor sharp is very important as well, because you really want to make sure that you're getting the most yield out of your fish and not ruining it. Super cool knife. Yanagiba, a must in your knife kit. This is another Gyuto. This one is actually double bevel or double-sided knife. I don't even remember where I got this knife, but I love this one. It's super cool, not too heavy, pretty lightweight, which is cool. So it's very easy to use, feels good in the hand. An everyday tool. I use this just as much as my other two vegetable knives here. Definitely making sure that you get your everyday use Gyuto knife is very important. My last knife that I want to go through is a Hansuki knife. And this one is pretty much just made for breaking down chicken, breaking down proteins that you have bones in and really need to cut through bone. It has that large, thick spine on the back. This one is about, I think, 5.5 inches, 6 inches. Definitely getting a Hansuki knife is great because you can get in close to the bone, cutting through the bone, cutting through backbones, thigh bones, leg bones. These are used a lot for yakitori prep in Japan when they're breaking down chicken. And I can't stress getting this knife enough, especially if you're working in the restaurant and you're breaking down chicken. I would definitely invest in a Hansuki knife. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you learned something today. If you have any questions about any of the tools that I use, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm here. I can answer any questions. These are just my everyday tools. I have so many other tools that I use in a toolbox that I have downstairs that I take to clients' homes. We can go through that on another video, but I just wanted to show you what I have in my knife roll, my knife bag that I take every single day with me on the go. Whether you're staging at a restaurant for a couple days, you want to just make sure that you have your tools. Having your tools for the job is important as your mise en place, meaning everything in its place, that French term that I always talk about all the time. Very important. You can't do the job unless you have the right tools, right? So making sure that you have your knife bag set with everything that you need gets you one step closer to a very successful dinner, and that's what you want. So please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, I hope I earned a subscription, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. I hope you learned something today. Have a blessed week and take care.